So let's say I'm animating this torus and it's just going to rotate here. It's going to go forward a little bit there and then rock backwards a little bit. And then I'm going to just have it rock back to a starting position. Well, I could accidentally go whoop like that. And if I just look at my keys, there we go. Very nice. It's just rocking back and then forth, back and then forth. But if I look at my graph editor, you're going to notice this big flip right here. And then let's actually have it rock back again. So we're going to do this. So see here how there's this big flip there. And if I was to play it back, we're going to see this very clearly. Goes through, back, whoop, and then there we go. I've got an Euler flip. It spun 360 degrees right there. So if I take that curve, I can just go to curves, Euler filter, and hopefully mine doesn't crash. I don't know why it would crash on this. It's thinking too hard. I don't trust it. Why are you thinking so hard for an Euler filter? It's like the simplest of curves here. Okay, mine might have crashed. But it would have fixed that. Hopefully it'll fix it. And then you're good to go. It'll get rid of that whole flip. There you go. Back, Maya, come back. Oh no, it's part of the experience. But yeah, the Euler filter will work on any Euler flip. Now the issue that I see a lot of students run into is that they tend to think that the Euler filter fixes gimbal lock. That's not the case. Gimbal lock will cause Euler flips. So when you use the Euler filter, it'll fix those Euler flips, but the gimbal lock will still exist in whatever part of the body is in there. So you have to be very careful with that. It's not going to solve the issue. It just kind of solves a byproduct of the issue. To properly solve the gimbal lock, you would need to either create an offset control, adjust your rotation order, or kind of redo the way you rotated the limb in the first place there. Okay, I think Maya's froze. So I'm going to open up another copy while this is debating on what it wants to do with its life. Let's see, are there any downsides to the filter, or can you slap it any time to fix random flips? The only time that it's going to be an issue is if you actually did want that flip to happen. It might clear it out. So depending on what you're doing, you might actually clear out certain animations that you want, some spin or something like that. But for the most part, Maya is pretty smart and will kind of guess most of the time correctly when something is supposed to be a proper spin or when it's a flip. So for the most part, it's pretty good. I've had a lot of luck just being able to globally apply it to my shots and then good to go. But always double check. Always make sure that it hasn't messed anything up. This goes with anything in Maya, and honestly, anything in any animation software. Whenever we use a tool, always double check. Like when I baked my animation, I double checked that things stayed in place. I didn't just go, and Maya, I trust you. You did good. Pat on the head. Let's go. Nuh-uh. Double check your work. Double check your answers. I always double check Maya. So, and this again goes with any program. You always want to double check your animation, because the worst thing that can happen is if you trust it, but something broke along the way, and then 3 hours later you find out, oops, it's gone. Whatever I wanted is gone. And now you have to either lose 3 hours of work or have to rebuild that thing from scratch. Not good. It's much better just to double check everything.